Brand actually took up against them in that best of 3 series. But focusing back in on Haven, I think the conversation revolves a lot around the compositions, kind of just like the desk was talking about there as well, right? For the side of Empire Catface, it's very old school style, very much so set up to try and find opportunities to set Icy up for success. And they're just such a good entry player that I do love seeing, you know, more of that composition surrounding the utility that can go out to help that Jet create that space. But to kick things off already, starting off by trying to take a little bit of that mid control, get a bit of information here. KIRI playing very slowly though outside of A.
Well, you know how opening pistols go, a little bit of a feel out initially, but as you would expect, especially on a map like Haven, we are going to get a bit of a heavy stack initially over towards A. It isn't through the teeth of this defense, though, at least in terms of the setup, especially this deeper cyber trap that's a little bit on the backside. A nice little response from Bunny after Luna had the initial shots on her. And that will lead to a 5v4, and most importantly, a post-plant.
I really like the crossfires that we have set up right now, the contact possibilities with the post-plant here for KIRI. Let's see what MEOW's going to be able to do.
Well, trades are initially there as Abby makes their way in and almost able to snap for a couple in a row, but just too many numbers to deal with. And KIRI will take the opener. Really solid start and really not much to break down outside of, hey, we're flooding, hey, we're hitting, hey, thank you for the first blood.
Yeah, Abby was able to do a little bit of capitalizing, dropping down from heaven there, but for the rest of the squad, just trying to funnel in through that choke point, not having the utility to do so, and it was really hard for them to actually try and break up that post-plant setup, I think, especially when KIRI, they've been so good at already just like taking the timings on those swings, making the call to take that fight together as you head into the anti-eco. And honestly, you've worked on challengers with me here, Shiv.
Yep.
I think that looking at KIRI as well, the players on this squad, we're very much so familiar with compositions that look similar to theirs. You know, that Euro ISO comp here on Haven has become such a staple, but when you have Terror on that Clove, it's very reminiscent of Envy to me, right? Like the aggression we're expecting to see from the team as a whole with those firefights.
Yeah, it does feel like you're knowing what you're going to get in terms of how the executes are going to come through, including the double tap shield, which Kurosu's already been able to utilize. Undercut will come through, but nice shot from Abby. Maybe a follow-up here, but runs out of ammunition. And if you hit that headshot, a very realistic world that these sheriffs could have worked out, but Autumn will take the final elimination, and KIRI will cruise through with a couple of weapons to salvage going into the bonus.
At the very least, both of the rifles, the Phantom and the Vandal, do manage to get salvaged like you were talking about there, but still decent economical damage coming out from Empire Catface onto KIRI there. I think now heading into this round, we're kind of also seeing, okay, what is going to be the depth of the plan coming out from Empire Catface?
Yeah.
What are we going to look for as far as how are we setting Icy up on some of those long sight lines, and what are the protocols going to be coming out from KIRI to try and counter that as well?
Well, initially it's going to be a walk down. Cyber Trap will be used for Autumn to just sneak across. Icy will have to be cautious of that potential play, plus also any crossing angles just outside of A lobby. Meanwhile, Terror is going to try to create some noise by the look of it over towards B. Similarly so, you've got the decoy up and through at Garage. And that is all of the Cypher utility now out of commission right now for Catface.
They're happy with allowing this take to come in through B, though. I think the positioning we've got to keep our eyes out for is that short position. Instead, opting for this crunch, it's going to become really awkward here, Sin on an island.
Well, Sin's able to hunt first. Oh, aim is actually pulled up a little bit by one of the shots in the corner of the wall, but still comes away with two. Icy at range, able to finish off elimination. And now it's just down to, can Bunny B get here with great timing to possibly find these three? No, can't quite connect the shots. And it'll be all on Autumn for a 1v4. And it's four very healthy members on top of that. So the bonus round gets pushed away, swatted away, really, if you think about it. And Empire Catface are on the board.
Smash through it.
And such a big portion of that was Sin even being able to get the two in Hell, right? It was a good crunch idea coming out from KIRI, but heroics to come out from the Sova player to actually be able to find that value, make it so much more doable for the rest of the retake to come in. And now, okay, we're seeing that protocoling over towards a long here for Catface. You've got Icy constantly taking that space, trying to get a little bit of information over towards a lobby as well. Yikes.
Well, that aggression now will work out. Good first blood. Most importantly, it is on the bunnies, so some of that variability in the offensive hit, thanks to things like the gate crash, is off the table. Luna's able to follow with another through mid, so it really just is on these last three members inside of the C side, and it is not working out whatsoever. Neuro Theft already earned and spent, and Empire Catface find themselves a flawless round number 4.
Great use of utility on site there. I think that we talked about it on the desk. Wyatt was mentioning how big of shoes Abby 2K has to fill with Animal having been subbed out since she is like traveling right now and is unable to play these games alongside the rest of Catface. And she's absolutely able to do so, like looking very comfortable right now with the team, working well with the smokes that we saw Habibti laying down on site there too. Just great micro decision making coming out from the anchor.
Well, we're back into Sheriffs and a Stinger. Opening fault line actually kind of holds KIRI a little bit more passive than they would have liked. Peak starts to come through, and hold on a second. Big couple eliminations are going to come through. There's a response from the Hunter's Fury from the defense, but there are a couple of weapons collected and a spike that can make its way over towards A.
Yeah, but no trip to watch that flank now as well. There's a huge timing opportunity here for Habibti. Manages to get a little bit of damage done on Kurosu, but not too much more. At the very least, applying that pressure.
One enemy remaining.
Well, Abby, those two will likely secure the round. Kurosu, maybe a chance to isolate the window fighter, but not going to happen. And it's 3 in a row. Not to, you know, again, just kind of be dissuaded from the power that KIRI were able to show there in the limited purchase, but regardless, the defense has really responded nicely since getting full purchase.
They demand a fight. Who are we to disobey?
It's interesting how this battle of utility is going to go, right? I feel like taking a look at yesterday's matches for Empire Catface, that was what was missing a little bit in that game up against Wadada. They just weren't able to find those utility trades, but I think now taking a look at how they're interacting up against a team like KIRI, it's a lot more comfortable as far as how those combinations are coming out, the spacing off the back of it as well. I like the scale down through mid. It's something that we haven't seen from Catface yet.
Cover going out.
Well, Dimensional Drift clears C. The problem is the Lurker once again falls immediately. Hunter's Fury out for the offense, set relatively blindly considering that Dimensional Drift hasn't really scouted too much of the defensive pressure on the backside of C, but it does at least create space and time for the spike to be planted. Now the flank starting to come through in the backside of C long. Nobody is watching this right now. The gate crash is there, but I see very well may have an angle at this. The shots are, yep, the shots are shots. Kill contract gets happening. Abby going to be pulled into it. Sin stuck in the backside of sight to be isolated, and Kurosu will finish things off to get KIRI back on the board.
Yes.
Ice's positioning there was so pivotal for Catface to try and close that round out. It should have been that free 2K, and you know that they are going to be kicking themselves for that one as well. But for KIRI, huge opportunity to tie things up. You take a look at that ultimate economy there as well. There is that opportunity for Terror to follow very closely behind, trying to assist with that entry onto site due to the second life that you do get from that Clove ultimate as well. But that was a messy round there, Shift. I don't think there's much else that we can really say about it. And now it's the constant adjustments of where we're seeing the push come through, but it's always telegraphed by that utility, right? That we see coming out from Luna, from Habibti. Like, the support is definitely great, but it's also a lot of investment if nobody's home.
Yeah, very true. Well, you see that push through C long allows the Rolling Thunder to be earned, but there really wasn't offensive pressure established in that direction. Instead, it's a plant onto B.
Ooh.
Autumn gets stuck again. Man, the lurking roll for the offensive Cypher has been 0 so far. Abby able to sneak in towards the A site, trying to cut off this play a touch, but as they lose Luna, and the flash comes through from Bunny B, it's going to be just on BT and Ice. And to be fair, they've done well to this point. It's just down to what Terra can find inside the site and somehow is able to tally both. a little bit of a blessing inside the dark cover leads to 2 in a row for KIRI.
Yeah, that second one, the accident through the smoke, and after Habibti had put so much work in to claw that round back there for Catface, no investment of any of those ultimates were necessary either coming out from KIRI. And for the side of Catface now, again, I think KIRI have gotten like a good read, a good understanding of they're taking those moments to pause in the early round, aware of the fact that Icy is going to look to take a lot of that space, that it will be telegraphed by that breach utility at the very least. And it gives them that signal to try and speed things up on the other side of the map. Like we see them now scaling down towards long, still taking a second though, and they've got to be careful. The cam goes out a little bit later. I don't know if it'll be tapped for that info in time, but Icy's actually going to fully back off and look to play the retake with the team.
Well, you've got the Clo Vault on top of the Neural Theft, so an extra lease on life plus the information if KIRI can find some sort of, at least, idea of where they want to go. I mean, minute on the clock, and we're re-clearing spawn.
I mean, that's what's so good about what Catface were doing, though, right? Having Icy telegraph that, and with the fact that KIRI didn't speed up as needed over towards that A site, they're forced to totally re-clear, so they're not pinched and sardined over outside of A. Right now, the shift over towards C, insane.
Abby backside of the site, getting tagged through the walls, but the reveal comes through, spamming, finding some counter damage. Now over the top of the smoke. Luna, Abby fighting together. Over the top bottom, able to finally get the counterpart trade on the Cypher. But a 2v2 with 22 on the clock means Kurosu has to try to step up and is able to catch Sin with the bow out. So now it's just down to a BMT. Maybe a chance to break the timing on this route, but no, doesn't check the corner, and Kurosu will find 3 to keep it going in favor of the offense.
I mean, it's a good pivot coming out from KIRI. It definitely got dicey, though, with how long things were taking. I think, especially outside after the pause outside of A, when they're looking to re-clear C, you saw the pivot, that rotation coming in from Catface. So they had the read on it based off of that timing. But at least the game plan is somewhat working on the side of Catface, right? They're trying to force KIRI to try and re-clear areas over towards mid, whether it's left side of the map, right side of the map, and to kind of force their hand as far as having to adjust a little bit time-wise. But no telegraph push this time around. I think I like this adjustment to try and shake things up a little bit more in this round, maybe keep KIRI guessing. And you can see how they're now looking to try and explore over towards mid. Nothing found with the kill contract over in Garage either.
Well, Abby, good patience on the decoy, but man, shots just are not fully landing. Luckily, Luna's able to bail them out on the play through Garage. Autumn trying to lurk their way into B, but honestly, it's not really a lurk anymore. It's just a full commitment to get onto B and see if they can sneak a plant away.
Oh,
the problem is, look at the timing through mid garden, and there's going to be a full rotation possibly out towards A, but KIRI's not going to commit to that, and now the pinch can develop.
The thing is that was Kurosu with the suppress as well. Sin trying to walk in, manages to get one, still lives there.
Last player standing.
Trades are good, knives are out. Kurosu looking for the elevated play, is able to find one, but nothing more. And, well, it's been a less than convincing start here from really either side. Shots just are not quite landing where they need to, and it's really influenced the outcome of some of these rounds here in the first 8.
I mean, you've got a couple sprays through the smoke. Hasn't been the most convincing of gun rounds yet, but they're mistakes that we see from both sides, right? Just like warming up into the server for their best of 3 today. But when, again, you are in that lower bracket, it is do or die. You can't take too long to warm up. Granted, it has caused for like a little bit of a closer game with how scrappy a lot of these fights are getting on site, and even a couple of like oops moments, you know. Sure, you have like the flank coming in and the trip's going down is because your own ISO has gotten that suppressed through. Are we committing this?
Oh, we're committing. So now it's just down, can Sin stay alive? And yes, just barely. That's important because now the map really just turns into, it has to be a C commit here for KIRI. Nice starts coming over the top, Sin able to keep their life and back away, but KIRI will jump in towards site. Is anybody aware of this flank? Maybe so, as Terror is turning for this. But have they seen anything is the real question. It's gunfights all over the map. Kurosu gets the shield broken through the wall spam. as Abby will be able to work their way in from the front. The rest of the defense over through A-Long. It's just down to Autumn and Calsushi. The Hunter's Fury is just a mere tally at this point. No way you lose this here. But all of a sudden, Catface are kind of held at the front doors a little bit by these smokes and the Cypher utility. They're having a hard time finding where KIRI are, and in that moment, Autumn's able to find the Judge for one. Low health pools, able to take down a second. One more over the corner, but Luna hits the headshot. Time running out, and Calsushi will stop the retake, and it's track 6-4.
So well played, and this is where we also see the value in Terror playing that Clove as well. Goes down earlier in the fight and is still able to provide that cover so Autumn can find value when it came down to that Judge. Play around that smoke and try to fight closer angles on the retake there coming from Catface. Now, onto the back foot. Bit of an awkward buy coming in here for the Catface team, and they're going for one of these aggressive plays here. Once again, trying to pinch over towards C lobby.
Time to jump. Decoy.
Well, a little bit of a spam out over towards C long. Decoy will fool nobody. And Abby will stay in the corner. Gatecrash going to be sent in to C as well. It's going to keep the eyes forward here for the defenders on C, but there's no commitment. And, whoa. Some of these isolated hero rifles may get some intel. But another window missed as Dimensional Drift will start to work on A.
Yeah, just trying to clear things out. Sin has been spotted there as well. The Judge come up. Sin somehow comes out on top. A site free for the taking now, though. Plant just about to go down. And for the retake here for Catface, you do have that fault line at the very least.
Well, Hunter's Fury does some friendly fire. Oh, mercy. And now Ice over the top, able to use the Cloud Burst to isolate an angle, and then follows up to help out for another. And wow, that was about as clean as it gets in terms of a long retake for Catface. And for KIRI, again, another moment where they just get a little bit caught off guard, not fully set up in their post plant.
And it was a good call from Lunafox as well, right? We saw that initial plan to try and pinch, maybe hopefully a solo lurker. Maybe they're expecting Autumn alone towards that C side, try to isolate one. But when they were met with so much resistance, so much presence, they don't force the issue. Instead, look to regroup. And that's the call that makes that retake even possible. And unfortunately, so does the Hunter's Fury kill coming out from Cal onto Autumn too, just to take down some of those numbers. It's definitely looking like a kind of a rough, sloppy start here for both these teams, but I think that some of the adjustments in the game plan in that micro have definitely been nice to see.
Well, we wait with bated breath to see if this is going to turn into something, and it will. Nice shots from Abidi. And a follow-up, that is huge for the defense, considering that the only defender on the C site was pulled into the kill contract. But Abby maybe overpeaks just a touch and also gets caught. So from what looked to be a 5v3, we go immediately into a 3v3. Hunter's Fury will be avoided. And now Calsushi can finish off the plant.
Drone coming through, Barrage as well, just to clear out some of that information. Icy going for the full swing.
Last player standing.
Oh, and now it's just out of Sin. Okay, off the corner is good. Going to the shorty, but may have missed a window here. Back to regular weaponry. And how about the Clovall? Just a little dance, catches Sin at a moment of indecision, and it turns into a 7-5 half instead of what looked to be a 6-6 tie.
Yeah, and you can see the difference that little speed boost in the ultimate makes there as well once you're coming out of it. I mean, for the side of Catface, you're going to be kicking yourself a little bit for that round with how close that was. Like the fact that all three of those players were caught up by the Rolling Thunder there too. Honestly, insane stuff. For Catface, you're looking at them trying to garner this pistol round, try to tie things up early into the second half.
Wow. Very back and forth affair. You see the opening 2 rounds. Really the only difference maker there is you go 3 for 3 and then back and forth for a couple. So who knows how crucial these pistols could be. Keep in mind, this was KIRI's map selection, so for MEOW Empire, they're happy to only be down 2 at the moment. But this pistol has not started on the right foot as an isolated 1v1 happens down towards sewer. And KIRI are looking to just pop through this clove smoke, and they have caught
Spike
MEOW
down
Empire
A.
by complete surprise. Abby, last one left.
We've seen what Abby's able to do, but for KIRI right now, I mean, they're totally moving as a unit. Might have an opportunity to catch one off guard, but right around the corner, Bunny B is going to go for that backstab and a flawless round there for the side of KIRI. Talked about that opportunity to try and tie things up early there for MEOW. And this is where, you know, it gets kind of dicey, I feel like, as we head into the remainder of Haven. I had that conversation with you about that kind of Envy-esque play style from KIRI, where they are going to do things like disrespect those smokes, try to take those timings for the fights. And I feel like that is something that MEOW haven't looked the most prepared for quite yet, and it's led to some really awkward fights for them.
Here we go, pistol out again as, well, KIRI will find the opening, well, all of it.
Down
I was going to say, just trying to run this one down with the Empire, but the early information from Terror turns into a clean, flawless round of the anti-eco, and now a true bonus starts to come through, and there's some formidable weaponry here. 2 Guardians, an Ares, an Outlaw. This could pack a punch.
Yeah, you've got to be happy with that. You've got 2 players on the light shield there as well, Abby and Habibti. So the one shot from the Outlaw that you were talking about, a really comfortable and strong bonus coming in for KIRI Magenta, that is for certain.
This goes here, that goes there.
Okay, let's see what the defense wants to try to pull here to get this bonus going, and if that happens, could start to snowball this map just a touch. The suppression, the vulnerability, and Icy's down to a single point of health. Kurosu peeks from the other angle and connects onto a headshot into Lunafox. So it goes from bad to worse, just like that for MEOW, who are stuck with just the spike behind them, really just outside of spawn. They have not done much here, and it makes matters that much more difficult with the follow-up kill on Icy.
Near misses. Sin able to equalize.
Last
But
player
right now,
standing.
you've just got Cafes walking in one by one. I don't really know what the game plan was there. Maybe trying to find some sort of opportunity for a pick on the side of Catface, but
Good crime scene.
that's where we see the timeout being called, right? It's been 4 rounds in a row that MEOW haven't been able to chain together, and the last 2 that they found were kind of diced up by a couple rounds coming out from KIRI themselves. And it seems like the game plan just revolves so much around the interactions between Lunafox and Icy, trying to find that space, an opportunity to have some sort of comfortable entry or first engagement coming out from the attackers. But KIRI and Magenta, they've been so good at like disrespecting that utility, taking the timings up against them, and those combinations just haven't quite been landing for the opening picks.
Well, lots to chat over for sure, especially considering the 10-5 scoreline doesn't leave a lot of margin for error here, going into what will be either a half purchase or maybe just a full categorical save. Try to build up the economy a little bit to fight back, because yeah, you can still run regenerative armors and a Guardian or 2 if you want to, instead of having to go into full weaponry. So the bank accounts are getting pretty piled up for KIRI, not to mention the couple of the key ultimates that could just build win condition in their own right. So lots to battle up against. It may not have to happen here if you're MEOW, but one of these next 2 have to go over the finish line.
I mean, you never know what those Game Changer sheriffs could do.
True.
Actually kind of surprised to see the entire team grouping outside of C for a pop here on the side of Catface.
Well, a couple of the trades do come through, so to say the full flood is pretty well timed. Cal
Player
Sushi backside
standing.
of the site, though, is able to mitigate and push that away. I was about to say, that's where that Sheriff Game Changer comes into play. Your ability just to overwhelm with numbers, trade things out, turn it into weaponry. And this isn't unwinnable necessarily for Luna. Has gotten 1 fadeaway elimination plus a weapon and the spike to work with.
Trying to take a timing, see if she can catch someone rotating from C-Link off guard. Maybe trying to re-clear towards Garage, but KIRI are more than happy to play together on site. Fault line still up, an aftershock available, planted over for a Link. Position is readable here. But what's the move for Luna?
I like the idea, trying to catch something on rotation around the back, but this will be a bit of a Wolfpack mentality. The aftershock is also going to provide a little bit of a delay tactic if you can put it in the right spot. It will show Luna Fox's hand in terms of where she actually is. And there is that aftershock. Someone's got to hit this. Someone's got to play bodyguard. There's the follow-up smoke, and the spam is not in the right area. Or is it? Gets it before it gets to halfway. Kelsushi is able to hop onto it, but it's not going to be in time, I don't believe. It's going to be a 1v3 clutch. Oh my goodness. The Red Bull clutch for MEOW Empire to keep him alive.
Honestly insane coming out from Luna. To be able to hit that headshot through the smoke on Terror was so lucky as well. Just right on time there too, because I feel like it was relatively close to getting to that halfway mark initially. But man, for the side of KIRI, that's a round where it didn't feel like they should have lost that at all. I think the reposition, the way that Luna was playing that clutch situation was so well done with her utility. Who just misses the fault line too, so not stunned up. But no one's actually taken the space there on the side of Catface.
Yeah. Well, big 1v1 outside of A-Long. Doesn't come through for KIRI. That could have changed the dynamic of how this offense was starting to set up, but there is a trade. Long-range 1v1 over towards C-Long, which Abby continues to win that 1v1 versus Autumn. That will play in the mental for sure.
I know exactly.
And now you can start to hit pretty quickly over towards C, especially with the neural tipped in play.
They crash out at the very least. Terra may be overstaying their welcome, but manages to get a 1. 2v3 now.
Hunter's Fury out, does connect onto Abby. Will not hit anything else. You turn to Bunny. Can they find an angle to get one? And there it is. Now it's just down to Icy. Has to keep their eyes on two things at once. Tries to play outside, but you get the extra intel from Bunny B. Thanks to the dimensional drift, the shot lands and KIRI respond.
A really great retake coming out from KIRI. Like, the Hunter's Fury being able to find that one pick there really opens things up for the team, especially with how awkward it can be to retake with that operator. But at the same time, when it's in the hands of Bunny B, like, you really can never be a doubter either. And yeah, once again, stuck in this situation where they're hurting for their money a bit. We did see some success on KIRI on the attacking side with one of those stinger buys coming in. We'll see if Catface can repeat that kind of success. Playing for the play with the vulnerable here. Sword, actually.
Yeah. A lot of reveal here. Maybe an opportunity for more, and there will be the kill contract also called in. And pending how that 1v1 goes, that may just dictate the round right there. Don't want to rule it out, but the cavalry is on its way. Flank will be cut off. Portion of the 1v1 at long as Terror wins that one as well. And all of a sudden, Bunny B has arrived and taken over the last couple of rounds. Although Caster Curse is a thing. But no, too many numbers to deal with.
The investment of that kill contract that we talked about, but you also see the ultimate economy ramping back up there for KIRI for a couple of those other ultimates. Might see that Clove ult, the Neural Theft coming out online as well here in this potential final round. So we hit match point. This is the map pick of KIRI. Definitely looking so with how comfortably they've been moving around this map, but for Catface, this is the expectation of something explosive. You got that Rolling Thunder, you got that Hunter's Fury that you're trying to work with here, and KIRI, you're going to get active C-Long.
Well, Bunny once again turns into a quick first blood. Rolling Thunder, that's going to feel bad, or will it? Because Ice is in a position to possibly isolate another, but that's pretty crucial. What? That is abusive. The fact that Kurosu doesn't even get the first, but more importantly, the second. You thought for maybe a second that Luna was going to kind of see that Rolling Thunder go to the wayside. Instead, it turns into an opportunity that just barely is missed. And now the Cavalry once again swarms and finishes off map number 1, 13-6. A really sloppy affair in the first, 9 rounds or so?